Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. It's great to be here as always. You're watching the VSO Gun Channel, and hey, we're talking about what's going on out of Florida. I hate taxes, and you should hate taxes too. If you don't hate taxes, then you either don't pay them or your taxes are deducted from your paycheck every time you get paid, and you just don't pay attention to how much the government is stealing from you. And somebody is going to say, well, somebody's got to fix our roads, even though the roads outside of their house are absolutely deplorable and they never get fixed. But anyway, I digress. Florida has started a tax holiday that runs from yesterday, the 8th of September, through the end of 2025. And this is for Florida state sales tax, and it is a huge move. And I want to amplify this, so hopefully it happens elsewhere in the country. But I want to talk about why sales tax on firearms and ammunition specifically are such a huge problem, because not only are you talking about inflating the tax, so like for instance, I don't know what it is in Florida, and I'm not going to look it up for this video because I don't think it's that important, but in my state, it's 7.25%. So that 7.25% is assessed on the sale price of the item, inflating it 7.25%. But what a lot of folks don't realize is there already is a federal excise tax on those items. It's 10% for pistols and 11% for rifles and shotguns. And there is a excise tax on ammunition, but for the life of me, I cannot remember and right this moment whether it is 11 or 10%. I'm siding towards it's 11%, but don't quote me on that. That is on top of whatever the manufacturer was going to sell it to the distributor. So once that item, the way this works from somebody who is a licensed manufacturer, the way that works is you produce an item. Say you're a manufacturer, you produce the item and you exceed the statutory 50 to produce in a given year that triggers excise tax. When you sell that firearm to the distributor or the end user, doesn't matter, and that is the value that the excise tax is collected on. For the sake of discussion, we'll say that you produce a firearm and we'll make it a handgun, so it's nice 10%, round numbers. We'll say that it costs you $100 to make it. You're going to sell that to a distributor for $200 because you want your 100% markup. You got to make some money on it, right? So that $200 sale, that means that you're going to take 20 of those dollars and put them back in an account so that when the feds come and get their excise tax, you'll have the money to pay them. The distributor now takes that $200 item. They want their 100% markup, so they're going to bump it up to $400, and it's going to go to sale at the retail shop. The retail shop buys it. They're going to put it on the shelf for $50. They'll make $50 on it, so $50 cost for you, the end user. However, from that one taxing event, that one 10% tax event, it gets passed forward and compounded each time it changes hands. And then the final sales tax number is based on whatever that retail sale was. So let's just, for the sake of discussion, again, say that the state tax is 10%, which is pretty expensive, but for the sake of round numbers, that's $45 that they have to add to the end sale of that $450 handgun. So now you're paying almost $500 for that thing. And while this is a very simplistic example, then none of the numbers are likely correct except for the initial 10% number. I think that you can see how multiple taxing events compounds price, and that's why taxes are evil and they should be abolished. But I digress. That's a discussion for another day. The concept of eliminating the sales tax at the very end helps the consumer and it helps the business. So you get the goods cheaper. The business gets to eliminate the a portion of the time that they would have to spend on accounting for that sort of thing. They're still going to have to file that tax return, don't get me wrong, but they also don't have to hold that money back in an account so that they know that they have it so they can pay their county usually collects that whatever county they reside in, they're going to have a vendor's license. That vendor's license number is going to be tied to an account that they can go and pay that sales tax. And it really depends on how it's situated and how busy their business is. Like, for instance, I pay my state sales taxes every month. Today's video is brought to you by the Modern Gun School. This is an accredited online university. Whether you're looking to learn a few things or trying to break into a career in the firearms industry, this place is set up to be streamlined and work for you so that you don't have to burn a large quantity of money to get an education in the firearms arts. And that gives you some latitude to pursue other educational pursuits like, I don't know, a business degree on top of your firearms education. So go check them out at Modern Gun School and tell them that I sent you. Let's get into today's video. Now, what I really don't like about this tax holiday out of Florida is some of the branding. It's branded as a hunting, fishing, and camping holiday coinciding with hunting season. And it comes off as this like, oh, well, you know, because hunting is the only reason that you would ever do any of this sort of stuff. And some of the branding as it pertains to some of the items, for instance, that we're going to get to here really quick, it feels gross to me that it is hunting related. It should be, you have a right to keep and bear arms for all lawful purposes, and we're doing it that way, and it just so happens to coincide with hunting season. This feels very fuddy to me, but anyway, let's look and see what it actually says. So right off the top, eligible camping supplies like sales price of $30 or less, sales price of $50 or less for, that was lanterns and flashlights, camping stoves, portable hammocks, sleeping bags, tents, that sort of stuff. Fishing supplies over here. Hunting supplies. Not shooting supplies, hunting supplies. Ammunition, bows, crossbows, some of the accessories like arrows, bolts, quarrels, quivers, releases, sights, optics, wrist guards. Firearms, including pistols, rifles, and shotguns. That's cool. Firearms accessories like charging handles, cleaning kits, holsters, pistol grips, sights, optics, stocks. Okay, so it's broad, okay? The branding bothers me. And let me know in the comment section down below if it's fine. They did it. To me, personally, I am really sick of the fuddy angle of like, oh, well, hunting and deer and quail and ducks and geese and all that sort. No, I like hunting. I'm going hunting this month. That is not the sole purpose of these weapons. And I'm really sick of the branding. In fact, that excise tax that we talked about was completely unrelated to the fact that you want a firearm for self-defense. You have a right to a firearm for self-defense. It's to maintain public lands, which has absolutely nothing to do with you owning a Glock. I mean, unless it's 10 millimeter. Now, while this doesn't affect a dude who's sitting up here in Ohio, even though a lot of folks that live in Florida are from Ohio. And you know what? The folks in Florida have jokes too, because I was in the Florida Keys diving a couple years ago, and I drove past what is known as Ohio Key, and it's just a trailer park. And I was like, the point of me doing this video today is not to say, oh, wow, cool, this is great for everybody. It could be great for everybody. My hope is that highlighting this and emphasizing how awesome it is will induce people to share the concept, and maybe this will find a seed in other places, because I would like to see this be a regular thing. Not just for Florida, but I would like to see this pop up all across the country, maybe every other year or something like that, or maybe all the time. That would be great. But what I'm saying is that we don't get to one of those ideal situations if we don't give credit where credit is due, even if I don't like the branding. I like the concept that these types of products are going to go sales tax-free in the state of Florida for a long period of time. I mean, a couple months, 3 months. And these are going to go sales tax-free, which is going to alleviate pressure on businesses, it's going to alleviate pressure on consumers, and ultimately, more of this stuff is going to go out the door. And that is a great thing. As a Second Amendment advocate, that's what I want, and I would like to see it permeate to other states. So if you think this is a great idea, then please consider interacting with the video in some way, leaving a comment, sharing the video out. It really helps out with the algorithm, spreads the message around. Thank you very much for tuning in to the VSO Gun Channel. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and we'll see you on another one here.